What's going on, guys? Kyle Reed here with episode number 2 of Matt Time Sport Karate Conversation. And I told you week 2 we were bringing a rock star on. Um, if you don't know who this person is, you aren't paying attention to what's going on in sport karate. This person right now is making a huge difference, not only with our females, with our males, and all competitors, and bringing that equality. Most of us have seen this logo everywhere you travel. No matter what tournament it is and where it is, you have found this logo. And if you haven't seen that logo, you have seen this wonderful face around supporting everyone, doing the best she can. And I was super excited to have the wonderful Miss Maggie Messina on today.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful, Miss Maggie. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I'm
Thanks for
super
having me.
excited. Absolutely. We are super excited to have you. You have been making so much waves in the martial arts world and making a change. And being that I predominantly coach a lot of women fighters on the women end, I truly appreciate and respect the efforts that you have put in on that end, and kind of made the transition recently to not just females, all athletes
Yes,
being appreciated, not only just adults, those junior athletes too.
yes. I find it's very important that we bring attention to our counterparts because without them, we can't possibly change the future for women and young girls. It's not about uplifting women and young girls above boys and men. It's about lifting us together. And I just find it's very important. So I don't want people to think that the movement's about, uplifting women and it's like this whole sparring match between men and women. No, it's not about that at all. It's just about helping these young girls and these women have a positive belief system within themselves. And I use that word belief system. I use that phrase because it is something that was broken in me early on. And I couldn't really quite put my finger on or pinpoint what it was. And then one day it came to me, wow, it's not just walking into the room and being made to feel less than at that moment. You carry that moment with you through your life. And it's something that it is imperative that we pay attention to and help prevent this from happening moving forward.
Absolutely, and that kind of leads into that first question I want to talk about is that moment that you felt female fighters came about, and you said that was there, you couldn't really pinpoint that moment, but you knew deep down. We've talked a lot previously. I know you've mentioned one or two events. We don't have to mention events or details or things of that sort, that you kind of felt like, why are the men getting this, but we're not getting this kind of
Yeah.
things.
I had started to compete again in 2000 and like 2011, 12. I had been out of competing for a little bit because I was building my school. And when I had come back, I noticed like, wow, this is still happening. And of course, being the more mature self and not that younger person, it stung me differently. And when you walk into an event and it's so blatant that the men are getting 1,000 and the women are getting 200, that is like a wow moment. And you look at, I could only speak for myself. I look at the young girls and the women in the room, and in those moments, I remembered how that made me feel. And I said, wow, this is just not okay. This is not okay. And I guess I was waiting for someone to make the change, which did not happen. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. The movement was never about, oh, wow, I'm going to go in there and make this major change. And I got this logo going and all that. It all kind of just fell into play. And when I had made that decision to do that in that one particular event, I felt so good knowing that I am not, it wasn't just about myself, but to see the women feel appreciated, like, wow, this is so awesome. And yeah, one day I was playing around with logos and stuff, and I kind of like knew I was Female Fighters Matter too. And even, backstory on that as well. I remember someone saying to me, don't use Female Fighters Matter too, because the Me Too movement went so south. And I said, well, I'm all about making the wrongs right. And I always have been through my whole entire life since I could remember as a child. And I said, well, this could be a moment to kind of like turn that around and make it, matters too, not so bad, or however people are perceived it. So I stuck with the name Female Fighters Matter too. I personally know that it feels good to be part of a group, like I'll say fraternity, but not so much just a fraternity. And then when I came up with the logo, I was like, wow, it's like a great logo. It's a group of women and girls uplifting one another. And and it just took off. And my passion and fuel, and of course, finances helped it grow. And now we're at a point where, there are organizations changing their grants and adding more grants for women. And I've been told that it's because of the movement, Female Fighters Matter too, and wanting to make sure that, that they're doing their part to be part of the change. And that to me was a real wow factor, because I think sometimes we don't realize the impact that we really have and the change that we can bring to light. And then when I had received that news from NASCA, when they had added the extra women's grand division, it really warmed my heart and made me really happy to hear. And when you make a change like that, how do you stop? You can't. And then, when you're at events and these little girls look up to you, and, you want to do everything you can so history doesn't repeat itself. And I think anyone that has a daughter, especially men with younger little girls, you look at it through a different lens now, because you never want to see your little girl feel less than the counterpart or anyone else in that room. And somebody's got to do it. So, yeah, here I am.
You accepted full responsibility, willingly, forcefully, whatever way you want to look at it. You jumped in, all 10 toes into it, and go. Now, definitely with like I said, with me, I coach a lot of the female end of
Yes.
things. So these conversations have come about, and we've had conversations. I've spoken to people. Where do you see this vision going? Like where do you've accomplished, or you're accomplishing? I know you just said with NASCA, but I know there's so many leagues and so many areas and so many even sports wise. I know we're predominantly based upon the martial arts world, but you see it in all other sports also.
Oh,
Um,
sure, absolutely. And I look at girls wrestling. I mean, I have some plans. I don't want to
oh,
reveal them just yet. But it's not just about martial arts. It's about the female or the little girl athlete. And I can remember in high school when I had to play on the boys basketball team because there's no girls basketball team. I even played football on the obviously the boys football team because there's no girls. I still don't think there's many girls football teams, and so on and so forth. So this isn't something new. I was always I was always banging my head on the wall, because I was an athlete and I wanted to play, and I didn't care. Gender didn't mean anything to me. That game, I want to play, and I'm going to fight until I could play. And I did do that. And that was in the 80s, and it being in the paper and thing. And so, that was big back then as well. I mean, to get to play on the boys team. And then finally we started to develop our own girls team. So, and that's with the other sports. And it's important. It's very important. I mean, why should someone not get to play because of their gender? Or, so I'm willing to do whatever I have to do in any arena to bring that to light. And it's like I said earlier, it's all about making sure that we all feel awesome at the end of the day. And
absolutely.
but again, I do realize I can't do this alone. I mean, the movement's getting bigger. Things have grown. We're now a nonprofit, and I'm looking to do more, but in order to do more, my husband's not going to let me to continue to spend my own money. I mean, you know what I mean? So, the travel and everything takes up. So, now that we're a nonprofit, we're really looking to get support. And all the proceeds go back into the cause. I mean, anything that we do, anything that anyone purchases through us, it will never cover what I've put it in. So now it's just, calling on the people that have benefited from this, to try to come aboard, and let's continue to build this. But again, the world is huge. It's a big world. So, I'm only one person. I do have a couple of other people on the board that do help out. So let's see, let's see how far we can bring this.
No, absolutely, and that goes for kind of anyone listening with any other sports. I know across my friend base, female wrestling, girls wrestling in
Yeah,
PA
absolutely.
just got passed in PA, and I know there's a big movement in here. So if someone like Miss Maggie can make this push in the martial arts world, it's not doable in any other sport. It
Absolutely.
just needs to take the right minded person, and I'm sure Miss Maggie would absolutely, if you reached out to her on how to get the ball working and how to do this and how to do that inside your realm of expertise or sport. She just wants to see everyone grow together and be successful together. And
Absolutely. It's all the same fight. It's not any different. It's just a different arena. It's all about, your heart and how you want your little girl or your counterpart to be perceived. I grew up in an era where, I remember my brothers going out to go to the movies and get popcorn, and my sisters and I had to stay home and clean the house. It was just the way it was. It was new for women to drive. It was frowned upon. I remember when I got my license at 18. It's not that long ago, and people didn't believe I had my license because, oh, well, girls don't know how to drive. That is so ridiculous to me. Like, wow. But that's what we went up against, and I can't even imagine what my grandmother and my great grandparents went through. But again, I mean, here we are, fast forward, and I'm just so heartwarmed and just so happy the way things are moving.
I was just gonna say, I was like, the progress we've made. It's not a fast progress. It'll never be a fast
No,
progress. It's a
absolutely not.
slow, steady fight. But over the years, we have seen great improvement of equality through just our realm of martial arts wise. If we keep it inside there, we've seen leaps and bounds.
I think people understand that I'm not going away. I'm not going away. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, and I'll fight the fight until someone takes over, and that's
Absolutely.
only when I stop breathing. So, yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
think I think anyone who knows you very well that you're gonna fight till your last breath, and then
yeah.
still try to keep fighting or haunting those around you if you have to.
I mean, we all have our journey in this lifetime, so I do thoroughly believe that this is the journey I've been put here for. I'm not here for
Beautiful.
me. I'm here for everyone else.
And we need more like you, who accept that sacrifice. That I don't want to say your time as a competitor has passed, because you could still get out there and
Oh,
hang with those
absolutely. I
guys.
actually been contemplating with traditional forms.
Well,
Yeah,
see, look at that. We might have
yeah. No,
some
no.
breakthrough.
Korean traditional forms. I don't know what's going on out there, but yeah.
No, but I was letting you go to see if you were going to break through on some breaking news information. But we need more people once our time is gone, or as a competitor, to reinvest ourselves into the sport and reinvest ourselves into those athletes and really help grow the passion that we love and we've loved.
I mean, we're
Uh,
mentors, right? We're mentors. We're paving the way. Just like, when I was at Cowboy Up. Oh, what a great event that was, Cowboy Up.
Absolutely.
That was such a great event, great venue. But not only that, just great people. It was very friendly. I had such a nice time. And you could feel the love, for the art. And
Yes.
yeah, it was a real pleasure working with those with Holly and Holly and the rest of the NASCA crew and Promac. Yeah, and we did do that scholarship, and we're looking to do more of those at events. The athletic scholarships on that day. So that was awesome. So good things are happening, but I think what happens is that people do want that instant gratification, and it doesn't come that way. Or people, some people involved, their vision is blurred or distracted by something else. And I think that's when you really know who is honestly on that path for the right reasons.
Absolutely. I always say if your personal agenda supersedes the goal at hand, then you're
Mm,
in it for the wrong reasons.
absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Do have some people that want to help and do things, and they're not for the right reasons.
Correct. Yeah,
So
no.
when you have to stop and say, you know what, let's not. Yeah. Let's not
uh,
say we did, right?
exactly. Let's just move on to the next
Yeah.
next person or next option. Now, leading into my next one, like I started off the show, we see you everywhere. Your logo is plastered, I think, as much as Nike might be somewhere around places in the karate world. You are sponsoring events, you are helping events, you are helping athletes. You have sponsored athletes on the team. So right now, is there 2 or 3 sponsored athletes through being
Right
held
now,
by?
yeah, we have two, and we're looking to announce our 2026 athletes at the gala, which we're having at the New Hyde Park Inn in New Hyde Park, New York, on November 20th. And that will be where we announce our 6 athletes for 2026. So we've been interviewing, and we've had a lot of requests, but we take everything into consideration. So it's the athlete, how they are on and off the mat. When it comes to juniors, of course, we have to, you're interviewing parents as well. So, as a coach and an instructor, school owner, that it's tough, because you want to make sure you pick the right athletes. And it's not just about being the greatest athlete either. It's about who you are as a person, who you thrive to be or strive to be. And, what your future goals are as well. And it's the formula that we put together. And we're really excited for the athletes that we have chosen. Now, that doesn't mean during the year that there are other athletes out there that we won't sponsor for an event or two, because we've been known to do that. I have so many athletes that I've sponsored. If they go overseas, I pay, whatever their costs are, even if they're going to just certain events around the states. So we do help athletes in that way as well. So, we don't discriminate or anything, even young boys and men, because it's so important that people understand that we need our counterparts. We need the men and the young boys alongside of us, so we can actually also understand one another, and the importance of being kind and lifting each other up. So you'll see, I'm never just about like one of your students, Nate. I sponsor him. And of course, he's one of the 2026 athletes as well. So don't tell me yet, though. So
I know nothing.
So he's such a great kid. It's not just that he's a good martial artist. He's just a great kid. He's so involved in school and extracurriculum. He works super, super hard. I mean, the 2 athletes that we had this year, Katie and Nate, they work so hard. And, win or lose, they're back at the gym, back in the dojo 12 hours later, grinding. And irregardless of the way the event goes, they're back there working. And that is just that in itself says so much about the human being, because I don't think just martial arts. I don't think I don't think it's just martial arts. I think no matter what they do in their lifetime, they're going to be awesome with that work.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll just speak on Nate, because I've been with him, I think, since he was 3.5, maybe 4, and he's 13 now. So I've had a long time of putting up with him, and his wonderful parents. But man, the work ethic he has inside and out. Like we were talking before we got on, there are some days we don't have a scheduled lesson, and I'll be doing paperwork, and him and his dad will come through the door ready to train. I'm like, oh, what are we
That's
here to work
awesome.
on? Oh, we're here to work on this. I was like, all right, do you need me? No, we're good. You keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Great. Like there's times they'll go into the school. Like those athletes are the ones that they're also diamonds in the rough. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Being overlooked for whatever reason, one reason or another. But you know what? I mean, look out, because when you have athletes that are overlooked or underappreciated, I'll say, those are the people you need to watch out for, because people who have a great work ethic are to be reckoned with. So, and I think that's another reason why, I really was drawn to them too, because despite anything, they still work hard and just are good people. Very sweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't want to use I use this term very like the quote unquote underdog story. It's not really truly, they're not truly underdogs, but when you said overlooked, that was the first thing that I thought of, is like that underdog, like that really had to fight for everything they got and everything they
Hey,
wanted.
you know what? I was that person too. When I was coming up the ranks, the underdog. Where, listen, I truly believe I'm one of the best traditionalist Korean traditional forms competitors ever. And I was overlooked because, for one reason or another, not on the right team, didn't have the right instructor, or even at one point, my instructor told me, when I really started to, become noticed, he pulled me out of the competitions because he was afraid, I guess, of losing an instructor. And of course, back in those days, you did whatever your instructor told you to do, and you didn't question it.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
so I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like firsthand. But as long as there's people in the world that are there to help people like that, especially if you were the underdog yourself, because no one knows how it feels more so than the underdog themselves.
It's easy to be the guy on top
Yeah,
or the girl
exactly.
on top. It's easy to be on the
It's a
top of
lot
the
of
mountain looking down.
jealousy, down talking other athletes because you don't want them to be seen. But eventually, if you don't quit, you'll be seen for who you really are.
Absolutely.
So,
And
yeah,
it's bigger than martial arts, like you said. It's
much bigger,
being
much bigger.
It's bigger than punching and kicking. It's that honor, respect, integrity that we've all been taught from the beginning of martial arts,
Absolutely.
and how well you instilled those morals into your day-to-day life. Are you a good person? Are you a good student? Do you try your best? Those things like that, not just being good at martial arts.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
yes. So all great things coming now. What's the future plans for female fighters matter too? I know you talked about picking up 6 athletes next year. Is the same movement of sponsor events coming? Are we
Yeah, so we're
team?
looking, absolutely. We're still going to push forward and sponsor events. But now, being a nonprofit, things are a little bit different. So, I have to show what are you doing for the movement at your event. Um, so I think people who are running events need to understand that. I'm not going to give you a sum of money and you're not going and not know where that money's going directly for the female athletes. And you know, it, it's happened in the past, but it just won't happen going forward. So we're still looking to give to the events, other athletes and teams, to help support. And then we have the 6 athletes. But I want to make clear that, these athletes that we are putting on the team, I know it's a big thing about poaching people's players and all that, out there. I'm not about that. I'm not looking to poach players. I'm only looking to help people that I know need help. And for whatever reason, they haven't gotten that thus far. So I'm all about the person, not about poaching people from teams. So I just want to make it clear to people, don't put me in that box because I'm not about that. If you take care of your athletes, then they'll be okay. If you're not taking care of athletes, that's on you, not on me. You know what I mean? So, I think people say, oh, I'm sponsored by this team. Explain what that really is. You say you're sponsored, but what is your level of sponsorship? Is it just a uniform? Is it that you pay for 2 events and give them a couple of, some swag? What is that? I know what my sponsorship is. So, I think people really need to really look at that. And I'm looking to change that as well because, the people are out there being sponsored, but they're not getting anything. So how can you sponsor someone you're not giving anything to? So, I think it's about helping other people, other teams step it up a little bit, do some fundraising, do something to step it up a little bit. Because when someone else, offers someone, it's like if I'm working in corporate America and I'm the VP at one company and you're paying me one price and giving me these many, the amount of benefits or whatever, and then another company approaches me and offers me something much better. I mean, it's the same thing, right? You have to survive. These competitions
Absolutely.
are so expensive now. I mean, my players, they do like 5, 6, 7 events, and it's like over $500 just to compete in one event. I'm like, wow. And I understand inflation and all that, but come on, that's a lot to ask for, from one parent, so
And
yeah,
especially to run a season or run a circuit, it could be financially draining to that
absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
to maybe
Yeah.
even never see that athlete. They get that one good run, and mom and dad say, we can't keep doing this. And I mean, it's not on the parents because unfortunately they have jobs that only provide them with so much.
Of
So
course, any
then,
parent wants anything for their child, right? You want to give them,
correct.
you want to, but there comes a point where, what are you going to put your house up for a mortgage? A second more. I mean, that's just, even though I know parents in the circuit that are doing it. And what
Mhm.
saddens me is that some people that are taking the money from them don't see any wrong in it. I'm like, wow, and especially today, the economy right now, things are unstable. People don't know where it's going, so yeah, there's just so much to talk about it
So
when it
much
comes.
to juggle with that end of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like you were saying that the return on it's pretty much like an ROI. You're looking for that return on investment with that event per se, wise,
absolutely,
whatever it may be, whether it be branding or throwing your logo on the tournament shirt or what you know what I mean. You're looking for that branding and that return on investment. And I know there are some times that me as a fellow promoter, there are certain things that I've missed or misjudged or missed my accountability on. But I think setting those guidelines for promoters from the get go, this is what I need, this is what I expect, and this is what I want, I think gives me as a promoter or other promoters that guideline. And if we choose to overlook those guidelines, then we just burned a big bridge.
yeah. And you know what? We make mistakes. I had a tournament that I ran for 5 years in Long Island, and there's a lot of moving parts, and you want to make everyone happy and make sure that you're taking care of people. But it's okay to make a mistake as long as you don't continue to make that same mistake every single year.
Absolutely.
Some events, I mean, they're the same thing every year. There's not enough room to move around, and just like you know what I'm talking about. And it's sad. It's sad because it's the same thing every year, and it just seems like the promoters don't really care. And someone can get hurt, and it's not safe and it's not fair. So
No, absolutely. Improvement or growth is always the key to anything. I mean, you have a martial arts school.
absolutely,
If we're not improving or not trying to improve, we're never going to grow and we're never going to get better. You eventually die out without improvement.
absolutely.
And I think that's a lot of change you've brought into the sport and a lot of improvement. And I don't want to say forcing the hand for improvement, but hey, this is what I'm expecting if I'm doing this, and kind of forcing the hand that we need to see this if we want to see this happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Now, we did mention that you are a nonprofit now, so I'm going
Yes.
to add up onto the stage here. This I got straight from the website. Hopefully, it's accurate on the media part of it. I know you
Yes.
said you were updating the website previously.
Yeah,
So those who
yeah, we're hoping, I didn't realize when you're building a website on a different level, there's a lot of moving parts. I've gotten quite the education, what goes on behind the scenes. And at first it was like Chinese to me, but I'm beginning to understand it, and wow. Yeah. So I'm so excited for the website. I just hope it goes up this Thursday. Nothing else happens, and it'll have a store where you can purchase, and it's going to have a lot of cool things there. Yeah. So
Beautiful. Yes. No. That's how I feel with the podcast things. I'm slowly every time I log in, I learn some new quick thing that I could change or do this or do that. But on the screen, guys, is a way to advocate here or support female fighters. There's a QR code. You can support them by following them on Instagram, Facebook. I believe you can tag them, share them. They share everything. All right, they do not share. There's if anyone shares and tags female fighters matter, they are getting shared on their Instagram. So if you want to increase those followers or show the love back to female fighters, following them on Instagram, tagging them, show them that appreciation, that support for what they're doing, because without them, there is no it makes it harder for us. Female fighters is trying to make the competitor's life better. So as competitors, as coaches, our job is to show that love right back, and that's the way we continue to grow. So I'll leave this up for another second for those of you guys that are watching. Ms. Maggie did say that there is going to be a store on the new site to get that swag that you guys want. I'm sure there's going to be hoodies, t-shirts, hats, everything that I know at every event she's got something
yeah, and
new
we have a
going on
couple of
there.
yeah, we have some for the gala. We're releasing some new things. So yeah, it's going to be
Beautiful.
exciting without giving it away. And
No.
fortunately for Toronto, whatever's left, we'll bring to their event. So they'll be the first to break out with it.
Oh, Toronto getting the
Yeah,
first glimpse of it of the year, or the end of the year, start of the year, whatever way you want to look
yeah,
at it. But let me remove this from the stage real quick. Boom, bring us on back. Beautiful. So we did mention the gala a bunch of times. I'm going to put it, we're going to talk about it quickly. So November 20th, New Hyde Park in New Hyde Park, New York. All right, is the Female Fighters Matter to Gala. It's from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. 6 to 7 is cocktail hour, and 7 to 10 is the event. Ms. Maggie, where can we register for that? Where can we find out more information from that? Is that all going to be coming out on the website too?
that will be on the website, but it's also on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll continue to post. You could just, again, scan the QR code. I do understand that some people can't make the gala. So if you can't make the gala, it would be awesome if you could still donate, and there will be a link to do that as well. Yeah, so the gala is going to it's a beautiful venue. We're expecting to have some pretty big heavy hitters there. And again, we need your support in order to do what we're doing at a larger level. So we're just asking people to really, help us out.
Absolutely. And like I stated earlier, you're everywhere. You've supported everyone, you've supported everything. You help anyone that honestly asks for help and you feel like they deserve help. So I feel like those who are watching and those who do watch this, it's our time to give back. It's our time to everything moves full circle. All right, the circle of
Yes,
life. All right, you give and you get. All right, if you've gotten and received from Female Fighters Matter too, this is your time to stand up with them and reciprocate that right back to them. And now she's not saying empty the bank account,
absolutely not. And I think
but
anyone that knows me knows that. Yeah.
whether it be a t-shirt from the website, whether it's a hoodie, whether it's, hey, you know what, $50, whatever it is, whatever little Johnny does a lemonade stand and wants to give it to female fighters matter too. That's awesome too.
I think I should have a lemonade stand.
We can have Nate working it.
Yeah, right.
He's a good salesman. But that's how I feel. I know I will be attending the gala with my niece. We will both be there.
Awesome.
I'm super excited. You were telling me a little bit about it behind the scenes of some of the things that are going on. So I'm super excited to see it in person, hang out with everyone, and just have a good time with everyone, and really support the cause that matters to me.
Thank you. And now oopsies.
Almost got you. Before we depart there, Ms. Maggie, would you like to end on any final notes before we close out on this awesome podcast to everyone?
Yeah, I would just like to thank everyone that's given us the stage and given us the forum to do what we do. And I look forward to an amazing future together. And we do have some things in the works, which we're very excited about. And let's just, keep doing what we're doing. And just remember, we're all about making tomorrow a better day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate you telling us about the cause and the hows and the whys and the vision, because I think a lot of people don't really get to have this conversation. They've seen you post, maybe chit chat, but getting it out there and letting everyone know the why
absolutely
is helps. So I'm super excited to have you on for episode number 2. And guys, like I said, every week we will be on with a new guest. I already got my next 2 weeks lined up. Can't wait to release them. But as always, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone. And guys, hit that Instagram for Matt Time Sport Karate Conversations. Hit the Female Fighters Matter Too Instagram. Follow us all and spread the love across the world. All right,
guys.
Thank
you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Have a great day.
You too.
Men and women at tournaments worldwide. For years, there was a struggle between women being seen at tournaments, whether if that was being on stage or equal payouts. And within the last couple years, I've experienced the change that FFM2 has created. I am proud to be a sponsored athlete and continue spreading the initiative and brand.